Hello everybody, my name is Kieran from the Checkpoint, the only gaming channel that stops the cavalry, and welcome to a video about the M14 in Advanced Warfare. Now the M14 I think is one of the most underpowered weapons in the game. It was pretty difficult to use. I had a pretty hard time using it when I was going for the Royalty Assault Rifles, which I now have, and I definitely think that the weapon could do with a buff. But for the moment, there are some tips and tricks and some kind of things I can give you to help you improve with the weapon. And one of the main things that I found that really increased the effectiveness of this weapon is to play in hardcore. Now hardcore is a lot slower of a game mode, purely because obviously you don't have your HUD, you don't have your minimap, so people don't tend to run and gun and rush about as much, which is also obviously going to work in your favour, because if people aren't running and gunning, there's going to be kind of a bit more camping involved, and people are generally going to kind of stay back. And that means you'll tend to be involved in more medium to long range gunfights instead of more short range gunfights. Obviously people won't be rushing, so you can be used to kind of medium long range gunfights, which your M14 will excel in. And also it's hardcore, so the weapons will do a lot more damage. It's actually a health multiplier. Your health is like 0.3, or you have like 30 health as opposed to 100, which you have in core game modes. Which means that the M14 is usually a one-hit kill. I found that it was a one-hit kill at most ranges. At long ranges it was sometimes a two-hit kill, but I found that a headshot at long range granted it to be always a one-hit kill. So expect a one-hit kill most of the time in hardcore, but at extreme ranges you might need two. And obviously that's where accuracy really pays off. If you can be accurate with this weapon in hardcore, you'll obviously just be one-hitting people all the time, which is obviously a major bonus. And that's where attachments like the red dot sight, the quick draw and the stock come in. I'd recommend those three, purely because obviously to be able to strafe around corners, obviously you don't need to have your gun up at all, or you do have your gun up so you don't need to kind of rush into a gunfight at all. You'll just be ready for that gunfight so you can instantly one-hit that person. Obviously the red dot sight kind of speaks for itself. It's just a lot easier to aim with. The iron sights of the M14 are pretty good, but as again, the red dot sight will just help with those accurate shots, because accuracy really pays off in hardcore. If you can be accurate with those shots and kind of have pinpoint precision on your enemies, especially in those long range gunfights, then you'll really excel within hardcore and with the M14 as well. And I also mentioned the quick draw, if you want to put that on as well, if you want to use the wild card for the 3 attachments. Obviously if you come across someone that you're not quite expecting, you can just aim in a lot more quickly, and obviously then you also have the stock, so you can kind of aim in very quickly and kind of strafe quickly to help you kind of maybe evade their bullets and help you win the gunfight as well. As for perks, just kind of the standard thing, I definitely recommend low profile and toughness. Toughness probably is the biggest one I'd recommend, purely because it's a single shot weapon and you do flinch quite a bit with the weapon. Especially this will work more for you in core, I'd say. Toughness is less effective in hardcore, because by the time someone's shot you, you're dead. So I don't really recommend using toughness for hardcore, but if you'd rather play in core game modes, like just a regular team deathmatch with domination, whatever, then toughness is definitely the way to go. Because the last thing you want is you trying to kill this person with a pretty underpowered weapon, and then you missing all your shots because your person's flinching everywhere. So if you're playing in core, definitely use toughness. If you're playing in hardcore, I'd go with some perks such as lightweight. Lightweight to help you move faster. You can be more agile to again evade enemy bullets. You're not rushing. Don't ever rush with the M14 because it won't work well for you. So yeah, it's just purely to be more agile within the game. You don't really need blast suppressor as well. The only time you'd need blast suppressor, and low profile for that matter, in hardcore is if the enemy has a UAV, which is going to be pretty frequent anyway, because obviously a UAV just makes you have that minimap, whereas most people don't have a minimap in hardcore. So definitely run the UAV, and I would say run low profile and blast suppressor, purely because when the enemy does have a UAV, you'll still be invisible to them on the radar, which is always a good thing. And the rest of it is completely up to you in terms of your personal preference for perks, but I just recommend those ones. Also, in terms of your weapon variants, I use the M14 Eclipse, which does have, I believe it has a slightly decreased rate of fire, which obviously isn't that too big of a deal. It's only decreased by 1. I believe it's 1, it may be 2, I think it's 1 however. But the damage and range are both increased, which obviously, that's a very good thing. To have your damage and range means that in core game modes, you'll be dealing your maximum damage at a further range, as well as more damage overall, so it'll be kind of melting people really well, and I think it makes a big difference to the M14. I tried it without I tried just without Eclipse, like the regular M14, and I was just getting tons of hit markers, and I put the Eclipse one on, and I was still getting hit markers. You know, it's a pretty bad weapon, but I was getting a lot more consistent kills, which was good to see, so I definitely recommend that. It will be not as effective in hardcore, because obviously you have a one-hit kill most of the time. However, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you sometimes get 2 hit kills at long range with it, and I believe the Eclipse variant will make you just have a constant 1-hit kill pretty much on most maps. So that's definitely, I think, is the best variant to use with the M14. And again, just make sure you're using the attachments I suggested. Kind of accuracy is key of this weapon. I think the most important ones to use would be the stock and the red dot sight. Those are the ones you want to focus on more. And good luck getting that stock, because you need 20 hit-fire kills, which is going to be a pain. And just as your overall playstyle, I just recommend kind of playing in a campish sort of way. I know it's kind of a bit being a bit of a D-bag if you're camping, but you are using a terrible weapon, so you do kind of deserve to be playing in that kind of way. Obviously, you want to be in a scenario where you're kind of looking down a hallway and people are running into your bullets. You will be less effective with this weapon. It'll still work if you're kind of rushing about, but it won't be nearly as effective as if you're playing defensively, especially on kind of objective-based game modes. Kind of if you're just hanging about the B-dom area, or you're hanging about near a flag, you're looking down like a kind of a small alleyway or something like that, which is usually quite busy. You can get quite a few kills with it, and that'll also be very effective in hardcore, as I mentioned earlier. So guys, that's just going to be my tips to try and help you win more gunfights and kind of get those challenges for the M14, or the MK14 I should say, more easily. I'd definitely say play hardcore. That's pretty much the way I did it to get my challenges for the royalty camo. I played hardcore about 80% of the time, and it's actually really enjoyable playing hardcore, because it kind of boosts your kind of survival skills. Obviously you don't have your HUD, so you're kind of aware of, you want to be more aware of your surroundings, you kind of have more instinctive reactions, and I just enjoyed playing it a lot. So definitely play hardcore, give that a try, and you should do a lot better with the MK14. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found something useful. If you did, leave it a like rating and subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you guys soon.